Hi there everybody, thank you for coming back for another video of my Johto Solo Run series. We're going to get started with the wheel randomizer in a minute, but first we're just going to go over the rules. So rule 1, we let the wheel decide. Spin 3 times, whatever 3 Pokemon come up we choose one of them and do the full run with. Secondly, I can only use that Pokemon in battle for the entire run. Rule 3, I cannot heal using items in battle. I can heal outside of battle using items, that's fair game, but not inside battle. Rule 4, no held items. This means likes of no charcoal, no pink bow, nothing that can boost my moves or heal anything within battle. Rule 5, I can use TMs and HMs. Rule 6, I can't use double team unless it is learned via level up. Okay, now the rules are done, let's get on with the run. Right, and now we're back with another spin of the wheel. I've got to be honest, that Yanma run was awful, so let's see what we get this time. Ooh, Suicune. I'm not sure I'm ready to do a legendary yet on this playlist, so let's see what we get for the second spin. Okay, second up we've got Magcargo. Ooh. Very low speed, that could be very interesting. Okay, let's see what we get third. Stantler. Oh, I really want to do a Stantler run, but you know what, I think that Magcargo run's going to be harder, so let's go with Magcargo. Okay, now we've chosen Magcargo on the wheel. Let's get started with the run. And Magcargo's going to be a very interesting Pokemon, to be fair. I mean, I'm not going to be... it's going to be hell when it comes to the Slugma run on its own. But Magcargo was the first Fire Rock Pokemon in Pokemon. So, we've already got pretty glaring weaknesses from the most common types. But we'll soon see how it goes. In terms of its base stats, it's got 410... total base stat. Most of that's been put into defense at 120. Its special attack, special defense is 80, 50 HP in attack, but the worst thing about Magcargo is its 30 base speed. So this is going to be interesting, that's all I've got to say. In terms of like the moves that we get, we start off with Ember, Rock Throw, Smog. So it's going to be quite an interesting run. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting how we actually are going to get past some of the bigger battles in this. The rival fight at the start as well, it's going to be, yeah. Thankfully it doesn't have a water move here, and we do have Rock Throw, which is quite a good rock based move, especially for early on in the game. I mean, the 90 accuracy is going to be quite annoying, but it means when we get to Falkner, we actually might not even need to go into the Sprout Tower. And we can get through the rival quite easily when we go from there. I'm going to go with Ben for the rival for this video, just because, yeah, he quite likes Magcargo as well, so we'll see how it goes. And Falkner is up first. He does have flying Pokemon, we've got rock moves, and the only move that's really going to do much damage against us is going to be Mud Slap, and that reduces our accuracy as well. Which isn't great, considering we need to be able to hit every turn. But evasion drops in Gen 2 are nowhere near as bad as they were in Gen 1. It's going to take 2 Rock Throws to take out the Pidgeotto, and I completely forgot that I had the Berry still equipped here, so I hope you guys can forgive me here that I've, without realising, broken one of my rules that I don't have held items. But we do pick up Mud Slap, and that's a very good TM for us. The next move that we really are going to learn via level up is going to be hard in level 22, and I'm not really seeing much need for that. The next move after that is going to be level 29, where we get Amnesia. And considering we've got better special attack than we do offensive attack, that's going to be a lot more crucial for us. Talking about the TM-HM move pool, it's actually not bad at all. We get quite a lot of good moves. We get likes of Earthquake, Return, which most Pokemon get. Get Fire Blast, we get Rest, we get Curse, Rollout, Sunny Day, Hyper Beam. We get a lot of good moves via TM. And it means that majority of this run actually isn't going to be too difficult. Bugsy is weak to Fire Pokemon, so we are going to completely decimate his team here with just Ember. First Metapod's going to go down to 1 Ember. Easy doing. Get a bit of experience. We're only level 16 going into Bugsy as well, and his Cypher comes out. Now, if we didn't have Ember, this would be quite a hard Pokemon to beat. But it's going to take 3 Embers to take down the Cypher, and we get the burn in as well, so his physical attacks are going to do even less than they were before. Our high defense means that like quick attacks are not going to do very much, and it means we've just got the Kakuna left, and all it can really do is harden, so to be fair, we're not going to have too much of a problem with this. And we take out Bugsy very easily. But I'll tell you what's not going to be easy. It's going to be the rival outside of Azalea. Because at this point now, his Totodile does have a water-based move, and is a lot faster than us. So this is actually going to be quite an annoying battle. Ghastly is not too much of a problem as long as it doesn't use Curse or, as you can see there, Hypnosis. We do get the burn, but it's not really going to make too much difference. We are asleep right now. Unless we wake up now, we're pretty much going to go down to the next Pokemon, which is his Croconaw. Yeah, one water gun pretty much is going to decimate us. We did hang on with 12 HP this time, but we're still asleep, so we need to get through the Ghastly without falling asleep, and that's going to be kind of hard because it does spam it quite a lot. And I couldn't really think of anything else to do apart from leveling up. So leveling up to level 20, we're managing to kind of break even on speed against some of the Pokemon. We're going to have to use Rock Frogs. It's going to be a much more powerful move against the Croconaw. And it doesn't even do... thank God. If that Croconaw had not used Rage, we would have lost this battle. But because it used Rage, it has to now only use that move until it gets taken out. And 3 Rock Throws finally do that. And all that's left is a Zubat, and we've got a super effective move. Goes down in 1 Rock Throw. So it didn't actually take me too many tries to get past the rival here, but it did take a kind of few, because I had to go back and train up a little bit just to get level 20. And we did, because of those level ups, it actually means that Whitney is going to be quite an easy battle, which I didn't really think I would say very often when it comes to these runs. But yeah, we went and picked up Rollout, and because of our high defense, Clefairy's doing basically no damage to us with Double Slap. If it had used Metronome, possibly could have done a lot of damage. But we've set up 3 Rollouts going into the Miltank, and this should be a really powerful attack. And there we go, Miltank goes down in 1, level 24. Let's move on to Morty. And I don't think Morty's going to be too bad. We are very slow, so it means that he is going to hit first. And if he hits Curse on the first turn, pretty much the battle's going to be over because we won't be able to do enough damage to take him out. Ah, there's the Curse. Just as I thought, we really need to set up the rollouts. But because he's set up that Curse, we're going to lose quarter of our HP every turn. And, well, unless we take out things in 1 hit, the Curse is not going to take effect. And we've set up 2 rollouts going into the Gengar. A third power roll up takes out the Gengar, and I actually thought we might lose this first battle, but we miss the rollout, so we've got to go for the Fire Blast, which is strangely a TM you can pick up very early on in this game. Fire Blast takes out the Haunter, and we beat Morty first try. We're actually doing really good so far. It's only really been the rival that's been a problem in the entirety of this run. And that leaves us with a bit more of an open game to go to now. So I opted to go against Chuck first. And I didn't really realise going into this battle how much of a problem Chuck would actually be. So his Primeape comes out first. We are weak to fighting moves. Thankfully he goes for Leah first, so we can set up at least 1 rollout. Karate Chop's going to do massive damage, nearly half our HP. And yeah, Rollout's not going to do enough to even take out the Primeape in this turn. So it left me with a couple of options. I can go and level up, which ultimately I might have to do, but if I go into this with a different strategy, maybe the Primeape can go down to a Fire Blast. It nearly takes it out in 1. I probably should have set up an Amnesia to start off with, and then we can go into using Rollout. And then I remembered he has a Poliwrath, a Water type, and he has Surf. And it does a lot of damage. So yeah, we had to go and try a third attempt against him at level 36. That was after defeating all the trainers in the water around Cinewood. And we start off the battle by using Mud Slap. I didn't think Mud Slap would be the move that I needed to use for this, but those accuracy drops actually made a massive difference. And you might notice that I've deleted Fire Blast for Flamethrower, just because it's got higher accuracy. It is a stab move for us, so probably the better choice to use moving forward. And the Primeape is just really being annoying. Thankfully those accuracy drops are helping, and we've got into the Poliwrath with quite a good amount of rollouts set up. He goes for Dynamic Punch, and it's going to be 2 rollouts to take him out. He just spammed Dynamic Punch in this attempt. If he'd used Surf, we would have gone down in 1. And we beat Chuck at level 37, which seems very high for what I was expecting for this battle. But who cares? We've won. We've beat Chuck. And that moves us on to the next gym leader, which I opted for Jasmine in this one. We've got the type advantage with both Fire and Rock for all of the Pokemon. So this should be a very easy fight. Magcargo comes out. We're going to go straight for Flamethrower. Level 37 at this point, and it takes out the Magnemite in 1. They're not, unless the moves are resistant. Magnemite is kind of weak, really. We even take out the Steelix in 1. Last Magnemite comes out, and we beat Jasmine without even taking 1 HP of damage, which is a very, considering how annoying Jasmine is with the Steel typing, I'm very impressed that we managed to do that first time. And that only leaves one other route we can go through to move forward, and that's going over to the Lake of Rage and doing the Rocket side quest. I always show this Red Gyarados battle just because I like the animation of the shinies, and because we're weak against Gyarados, so I wanted to see how much of a problem it would give us. It is level 30, it's got Dragon Rage, it's got water moves, and if we hadn't have hit 2 rollouts and that, if he hadn't have used Bite there, we would have lost against the Red Gyarados. But thankfully we win, we get the Red Scale, which we're just going to pocket because we're doing no item held run, and we move on to the Rocket Hideout. And the Rockets are complete jokes. They're nowhere near as annoying as they were in Gen 1, I would say. They do have a lot of Zubats, they do have a lot of poison Pokemon, but we've got super effective moves pretty much against all of them. And it's going to be a pretty easy battle, this one. We're pretty much just trying to level up a bit more because at the end of the Rocket side quest, or mid part towards the end of it, we have to go against the rival again. And considering how slow we are, and we don't have any moves to increase our speed. Not even on the TM move pool. We could get Swagger, we could get Double Team, but I don't like using Double Team. We could use Attract, but majority of Pokemon in this game are a male, I think. So unless you start with a female Magcargo, there's no point using Attract at any point on this run. Going against the last executive in the Mahogany Town hideout, we're decimating the teams here. Flamethrower is just going to destroy the Arbok. I decide to opt for Rollout against the Gloom because I wanted to set up for the final Pokemon. And Murkrow is going to go down to another Rollout. Murkrow, I really want to do a Murkrow run soon. It's dominating Gen 9 competitive right now because of the Prankster ability. I think it's the Prankster ability. But back in Gen 2 when it was introduced, you get it so late on in the game. I don't think I've ever actually done a Murkrow run or ever even used it before, so I'm hoping that comes up on the wheel soon because I would love to do a Murkrow run. So there's only one thing left to do in Mahogany Town. Let's go beat Price. We don't really have the type advantage because most of his Pokemon, like the Steel and the Dugong, they're Water Ice, so Flamethrower's not going to be super effective, but it still does a massive amount of damage because we've got better special attack. I'm going to set up Rollout on Dugong, so I want to try and take out the Piloswine with just 1 hit, and Dugong goes down to 2 Rollouts. It's looking pretty good. Piloswine comes out, and the 3rd Rollout, we do outspeed, doesn't even take out the Piloswine, but a 4th hit Rollout will take it out in 1. One thing I probably could have opted to do was go Defense Curl Rollout, but considering how weak we are to special attacks with like a double water weakness pretty much, it's not going to really... Is it a double water weakness? Either way, we are not very good against the majority of Pokemon in this run. Fire Pokemon really have it a bit harsh, don't they? Moving on to the Rocket Hideout. No, not the Rocket Hideout. Goldenrod Radio Tower. Continue on with the Rocket side quests. And I sometimes like showing this battle against the executive at the top because he's got 6 Pokemon. And I really wish he didn't have 6 Pokemon because it just means that if you don't get one hits on everything, it's just going to eat up time on your end time, especially if you're doing a solo run and timing it. But because I've gone through the full tower, my PP was low, so I had to alternate between moves. But once we've beaten him, we can actually move on to the proper hard battle in this side quest, and that is the rival. So he starts off with a Golbat this time. We are quite over leveled to level 44, and Rollout's going to be a good move to start off with. He's going to take out the Golbat in 2 hits, and next he'll move into his ace. It's going to be the Feraligatr. So this is why I want to set up Rollout, just to have a more powerful attack to use. And Rollout still doesn't take him out at this point, and we're on very low HP now. And we're a very slow Pokemon, so this means if we get outsped, we've lost. Thankfully, the Haunter only used Mean Look, and we missed a Rollout. Very annoying, so let's go in that again. I think I can still do it at this level, but we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to set up 1 Amnesia just to start off with, and the special defense goes up. And that means that if he uses a water move, that it's not going to do anywhere near as much damage, and we can start using Rollout from there. Again, it's going to be a 2-hit KO, we get confused, and we hit ourselves in confusion, so the Rollout has to start again. We're confused no more, going into the Feraligatr, and now we've got a bit of Amnesia set up. It means the Water Gun's not going to do anywhere near as much damage. I mean, look at that, it was doing half damage before, and now it's not even doing 10-15 damage. This is why it's worth setting up sometimes. Haunter comes out, Rollout's going to take it out because it's third turn Rollout power up. Magnemite comes out, and we know for a fact from the Jasmine battle that we are going to just decimate it. Last up's the Sneasel. I always like Sneasel as a Pokemon, but because you get it so late on, again, it's another Pokemon that I never really used in runs. So I'm going to be interested in doing a Sneasel run when that comes out. And we beat the rival, so next we can move on to completing the side quest. And these executives are sometimes kind of annoying. Considering you've battled your way up the tower, it has Bite to inflict flinch on you, but 1 Flamethrower is pretty much going to take it out at level 48. Murkrow's going to come out again, and we're just going to set up the rollouts on it, and it's a 1-hit KO. So, last Pokemon coming out, it's the Vileplume, and to be honest, I probably shouldn't have set up the rollouts, because it's not going to do very much, so we need to switch to Flamethrower, and that takes it out. Pretty good, pretty good. And we can move on to the final rocket in this side quest. It always takes so long to do this, but in a few levels, well, we got it in that last battle, we actually got to level 48, and we picked up one of the best moves for this run so far. We've picked up Rock Slide, which made a lot of these battles a lot easier, and we're going to have to keep that move, especially for the likes of Lance later on, because we don't get any ice moves. I could go and get Hidden Power Ice, but I'm trying to do these runs without relying on Hidden Power, especially if I think that it's possible to do it without. But you can leave. Should I make Hidden Power a banned law, like a banned rule, like I do with Double Team? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Should I ban Hidden Power use in these runs? Now, if you thought, I spent a lot of time trying to beat Chuck, and I thought, like, it took me leveling up a considerable amount to be able to get past him. I didn't think it would take me anywhere near as much to do the same against Claire. And trust me, Claire was an absolute nightmare. We had to go up to level 58 here. You have to set up the Amnesia and then start the rollouts. Annoyingly as well, each Dragonair pretty much will try and paralyze you. So you've got to hope that paralysis doesn't set in. She's always going to send out the Kingdra second because it has Surf. It's going to do a lot of damage. But with a third rollout set up, it should take it out. Now you just got to hope that the Dragonair's pretty much used Dragon Breath, so it doesn't do very much damage, and we've only got 1 left, and not much HP left. Thankfully, he goes for Dragon Breath, and a 5th turn rollout takes down Claire. Genuinely, this took me about 20 tries to figure this out, because every single time I would get paralysed, and then paralysis would stop the rollout, so in the end it came down to a bit of RNG. And that leads on to Victory Road, with the dreaded rivals Feraligatr once more. Thankfully this time he starts off with Sneasel, and Sneasel does not do very much damage against us, so we can set up the Amnesias. Even Furico is not doing very much. Our defense is phenomenal. And one rollout takes out the Sneasel, and we move into the Feraligatr. Hopefully 2 rollouts should be able to take it out, but it's only doing half HP. It goes for a water gun and then goes down to another rollout. We move up to level 61. At level 60, you also get the chance to learn Body Slam, but I'm not choosing it for this run. The moveset we've got right now is very good. We've got fire coverage, we've got rock coverage, and we've got a self move with Amnesia. And this is pretty much the moveset that's going to take us through the majority of the Elite Four. Moving on, we've now got the Golbat, and there's not many Pokemon left. We've got good HP. And for probably the first time in this whole run, we beat the rival on the first time. I mean, apart from the very first attempt, but he doesn't even have a water move at that point, so it should be an easy battle. And we beat the rival first time, we can move on to going against Will in the Elite Four. This is where the challenge starts to get hard. I'll be honest with you guys now, I lost to every Elite Four member. Maybe I think I didn't lose to Karen actually, but I just got decimated the first time I went to each of these battles. I thought, considering he starts off with Xatu, Rock Slide would be the one that will take him down, but I didn't realise how much of a problem this Slowbro would be. It uses Amnesia itself, and when primarily using like Flamethrower to do a lot more damage, we try and set up his Amnesia as much as possible so the Psychic doesn't do very much, and then we go for Rollout, and then he starts using Curse, and then Psychic crits. Our luck is not very good in this attempt, and we're on to we get Special Defense drop. Rock Slide doesn't take him out, and finally, after quite a while, the Slowbro takes us out with Psychic. So I had to go about this a different way. The Xatu is always going to set up a Confuse Ray pretty much every first turn, which is very annoying, but if we can get a couple Amnesia set up against Xatu, Psychic's not going to do very much damage, and we can hopefully set up enough to start sweeping. Rock Slide we know is going to take it out in one. It's super effective, of course, it's a Psychic Flying, and then comes out the Slowbro that ended the run last time. So I'm going to go straight for Rock Slide. We got special defense drop, and then we set up Rollout because we want it for the next couple of Pokemon. And finally, Rollout takes it down. Executor comes out next, and we've got Rollout to one-shot it nearly. Oh, wow. And that's pretty much all the rollouts, so we're going to have to switch moves here. We get hit by a Psychic, we've got one more rollout left, I didn't count those right, and we go up to level 62, and the last one is another Xatu. We know that a Rock Slide's going to take it out, but we don't outspeed, and Rock Slide does not take it out. It uses a max potion, so I opt to go for rollout. I felt like it was going to start becoming a much more drawn out battle, but the reflect fades and we can hit him out with one Rock Slide. So that took about 5 attempts. I've only shown you the first attempt and the last attempt of these just because otherwise the video would go on forever. It has already been going on for quite a long time as it is so far, but we move into going against Koga. The weirdest addition to the Elite Four ever in my opinion, but we have a fire move and his Pokemon majoritively are quite slow, especially the Fortress, the Ariados. But next up, the Muck. This one actually caused me quite a bit of problems. The Flamethrower doesn't take it out in one and he starts setting up Minimize, but thankfully we do get the hit. Crobat comes out next, and we know for a fact we're never going to outspeed this. Not even at level 100 I don't think we could outspeed this Crobat. But thankfully a Rock Slide takes it out. And the last up is Venomoth. So I'm going to opt to go for Flamethrower here, and it's a one-hit KO. So Koga actually wasn't too much of a problem, and I started getting a bit cocky at this point. I thought that we've beaten Koga, we've beaten Will, Bruno's usually a joke. And then I remembered who I struggled against earlier. Which gym leader caused me the most problems earlier on. And that was Chuck. And that comes down to the fact that Rock is weak to fighting moves. And out of all the Pokemon that could have taken us down, I never thought it would be this Pokemon here. I'm only joking. I had just go in there a bit, didn't I? No, the Onix comes out. Flamethrower is going to do massive damage. This is why I kept it over Fire Blast, because of the 100% accuracy. But it doesn't take out the Machamp in one. But we do get the burn. He hits with Cross Chop. And the burn is not enough to take him out, so he uses the Max Potion. And I stupidly went for a rollout here. We miss, the burn hits, and he gets another Cross Chop in within this turn. It's a good thing it's not doing as much damage, and the burn takes him out. So we beat Bruno first time, actually. I probably shouldn't do that, like try and goad you into thinking what's going to happen. Just enjoy the video, and hopefully Karen can be another one-shot. Let's find out. So she always starts off with an Umbreon, which is an annoying leading Pokemon because it's very bulky in defense, and it's got Sand Attack. If it lands too many Sand Attacks and Confuse Ray, you've got a hard battle on your hand. Frankly, because of our defense, confusion damage doesn't do very much, and we can start setting up a bit of Amnesia, and we can try and take it out with Rock Slide. We missed that turn, and we're still confused. We've been confused for about 5-6 turns right now. Finally, we get taken out Confusion, and we've hit 2 rollouts moving into the next Pokemon. Will 3 rollouts be enough to take out the Gengar? Possibly not, but we also got Paralyzed as well, so we've got everything against us right now. Foul Plume comes out, and I forgot Petal Dance. Oh. Yes, we do take it out with Flamethrower. And next up's Murkrow. We know it's a very frail Pokemon. Rock Slide's going to hit and one-shot it. And that just leaves the Houndoom. So you might be wondering right now, why haven't I taught Magcargo Earthquake? And I'll be honest, when it got to this point in the run, I completely forgot about it. It probably would have been a better move to use than Rollout. But Rollout is also probably one of the best moves on our move roster. And we've only got one challenge left now. We've got Lance the Champion. Let's see how we do. Gyarados comes out first, and straight away we are at a massive disadvantage. We are... He sets up Rain Dance. Thankfully he didn't use Hyper Beam, and we take it out with one Rock Slide. If he'd used a Water move there, he probably would have taken us out in one. And we've got to try and take down this Aerodactyl. It goes down in one Rock Slide, even though it's Rock Flying. It's still weak to Rock, which I find hilarious sometimes. And now we're against the Dragonite. We get Paralyzed, but we start setting up Amnesia so that Blizzard's not going to do very much damage. Setting up against this Dragonite is the best thing you can do. Even though it's not going to take it out with one Rock Slide, you can start setting up your Rollout, and then you can start sweeping the rest of the Pokemon. Hyper Beam does a lot of damage, and it's not enough to take it out, but thankfully because of Hyper Beam we can do 2 rollouts before getting taken down. Next Dragonite comes out and uses Outrage. We've got quite a few rollouts set up, and we can take it down in one. That is most powerful Dragonite. Charizard comes out and uses Hyper Beam, and thankfully because of all of our defense it does barely any damage. We're on 7 HP here, one more Pokemon left. Can we do this? We move into level 65. Oh wait, it wasn't the last Pokemon. I defeated one more Dragonite than I thought. Oh wow, so there you go. Magcargo has beaten the Elite Four on its own. The very slow Fire Rock Pokemon. Let's see what time we did that in. So Magcargo, now you've beaten the Elite Four. What time have we got? So we did it at level 65. We had Farfetch there because we need to fly over to Olivine straight away, and then 4 hours and 49 minutes. That's a lot better than the Yangma run, I'll tell you that. That's a few hours difference. And that just shows, I guess, to how good Magcargo actually is compared to Yangma. I've only got one other video to compare with so far, so yeah, so far Magcargo is the MVP on this playlist. But as you guys know, Gold and Silver doesn't just stop at the Elite Four. There is a post game, and that's what we're going to do next. We're going to go over to Kanto, we're going to go and beat Blue, and we're going to go and beat Red. That's the end goal. But first you've got to go and do all of the gyms in Kanto, and considering the level that we're at, it's not worth me showing those battles, I don't think. Pretty much all of them are quite easy, with the side of like disregarding Blue. Blue is actually a very big threat, and that's the reason why we are going to go to his fight next. So once you've beaten the game, once you continue, you're back in New Barktown. We're just going to use Farfetch to go, well, you need to go to Elm first and get the ticket, otherwise you won't be able to go over to Kanto. So make sure you always do this instead of immediately going straight over to Olivine. Pick up the SS ticket, and we can go over to Olivine now. So I'm just going to skip past all the Kanto gym leaders apart from Blue. Let's see how we did against him. Because of all the battles that we've had to go against, we're now level 72. Rockslide's going to take down the Pidgeot in one hit, and next up comes the Rhydon. We don't have a move that's super effective against it, and admittedly Earthquake probably would have been a good choice to use here. But yeah, I didn't realise how much of a threat this Rhydon was going to be. It does get burnt, but 2 Earthquakes takes us out. So how am I going to get past that Rhydon? We don't have any super effective moves unless we go and get Earthquake. So I actually opt for a different strategy. Annoyingly, I start setting up my Amnesias, but annoyingly the Pidgeot keeps using Whirlwind and bringing in my other Pokemon. And yeah, I use Whirlwind twice. So I have to switch back to Magcargo, set up as many Amnesias as we can. It's not a problem if he uses Wing attacks, we've got really high defense. And then we set up Sunny Day, because that means Flamethrower is now going to do massive damage. And all the water moves, especially with the Gyarados, are going to do a lot less. I could have opted to use Rock Slide to take the Pidgeot out in 1 and save myself a turn of Sunny Day. But that Flamethrower is going to do a lot more damage now against the Rhydon. In fact, it's going to do so much it takes it out in 1, which is great. Next up comes the Alakazam, and I'm still going to opt for Flamethrower. Our special attack is better than our physical attack, and because Sunny Day is up, it's going to do a lot more damage. Gyarados comes out, and we're going to go for Rock Slide because the sun's up, he's always going to go for Rain Dance, and that means we can get past the Gyarados without taking any damage. Now we've got the Arcanine, we're going to go for Rock Slide because it's super effective, and it takes it out in 1. We're looking pretty good right now, but last up is the Executor. We've got Rain up, but you know what, we're just going to go straight for Flamethrower, it's super effective, and even with the Rain up, we take out the Executor in 1. This was a successful attempt against Blue, and I must have gone against him about 5 or 6 times before I came up with this strategy to win. But it means now there's only one battle left, and that is Red. And we are going to have to change up the move pool a little bit here. If this move pool doesn't work, thankfully, we got paralysed. Yeah, that's a reset. That Pikachu paralyzes you or uses Charm. You've got no chance, I would say. So thankfully we don't get paralysed, we can set up as many Amnesias as we need, and then we set up Sunny Day. Quick Attack's not going to do very much, and Flamethrower does take it down in 1. So we're off to a good start, we haven't lost too much HP, and next up's Espeon. Reason why we wanted that special defense is because Espeon has Psychic, and one Flamethrower is going to take it down. That's 2 out of 6. Next up though is the Blastoise, and straight away because we've got Sunny Day up, he's going to go for Rain Dance, so we're going to opt for Sunny Day, and he goes for Surf. So now his water moves are doing a lot less damage, fire moves are doing a lot more, we can just start trading blows with Surf and Flamethrower. And he does take off a considerable amount of HP, but because the sun is now still up, we've got a good chance. Snorlax's going to actually not going to be as big of a threat as I thought he was going to be. He does use Amnesia, so that means that... and he used Rest as well. Sunny Day was a good turn to use Sunny Day, quite lucky with that. Flamethrower is going to do big damage. And in fact, a big critical hit. And he's still asleep. Snore's not going to do very much at all, and second Flamethrower takes him out. Next up's the Venusaur, which we know for a fact. He's going to go for Solar Beam, which does a decent damage, but doesn't take us out because of our special defense increases. And Flamethrower takes us down in 1. That just leaves the Charizard. And we've got to go for... Oh, I actually misclicked on Flamethrower here. It does just under half damage. Thankfully, he goes for Wing Attack, and Rock Slide takes him down. I wasn't actually... I was quite surprised that I actually managed to beat Red on the very first attempt. I just didn't think that was going to happen with the level that we were at and the moveset we had. So, you know what? Well, it was second attempt because the first one I reset on, but either way. That's us. That's Magcargo beating the game. And let's have a look at what level we actually finished at and what time we finished at. I just want to, while the credits are rolling on after Red, I just want to give a quick shout out to one of my newest subscribers, a guy called Liam Stubbs. Doesn't look like he's got any videos on his channel. He just uses it as an account to watch videos from what it seems like. But thank you for the follow, and I hope that you... Well, I'm going to include you as one of the rivals on one of the future videos, so we'll see you on that video. So, I know for a fact that this run was a lot quicker than our Yanma run. We had much better moves to work with, because, let's face it, Yanma's move pool and its stats are completely awful. But let's see what we got for our final time and our final moveset. Whenever you've been ready, always takes you back outside of Mount Mortar. So we finished the game in 6 hours 28 minutes. That's fast. That's about 3 hours faster than that's about 3 hours faster than Yanma. That's very, very impressive. And this is the move we finished with. Okay. Thank you for watching the video, guys. It really means a lot that people are still watching these videos, still liking, commenting. It really does mean a lot. So we'll be out with another video next week, and we'll see you then. Take care.